What's up, guys? We're live. We're a little late. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but Marley is like a boss. She knows how to adapt. And she pulled out the phone, she downloaded an app, and here we are for you guys.
We're
Um,
here.
yay! So I'm super excited for this because I haven't told you this, but you're definitely on my Dream 100 list.
I
And
am.
yeah, yeah. Is
I'm
that
honored.
flattering?
I'm so
Um,
yeah. Thank you.
yeah, and you're not like 99, like you're up there. So I met you recently at Dream 100 Con, but I've known you a little bit before that because like
Yeah.
we're working with a mutual client, and I've been able to see like how like the kick-ass stuff you're doing with your agency, like behind the scenes and what you're producing, and it's like super inspiring. So I want to get into first, like I'm curious, like how did your whole journey of entrepreneurship start?
Oh, so weirdly, I used to be a dental hygienist, which is like, can't you see the easy transition from dental hygiene, cleaning teeth all day, to making videos for influencers? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not.
so
It
it's so
wasn't
normal. That's what
so
everyone's doing
normal.
it.
It's just the easy next step. So I was a dental hygienist, but before that even I worked in radio in Toronto, so it was a big market, and also in Edmonton, which is where I'm from, and I worked in event management, and it's just it's funny to look back on those days. I was 20 years old and I was working and creating events with people like Gary Vaynerchuk and Seth Godin and Randy Zuckerberg and Robin Sharma and all these names that when I was 20 years old totally didn't appreciate at the time, and now I'm like, these are all the people that are on my bookshelves and can't consume their content enough. So it was cool to work with them in a past life. Like I was the one that would like run around backstage grabbing them waters and making sure they were on stage when they needed to be, and all the behind the scenes stuff. So that was kind of cool. But going back to when I was a dental hygienist, people don't even like going to the dentist. So how do you think it is working at the dentist? It was not fun. And I always knew that it was just like a backup plan or just a means to like figuring out what I really wanted to do. And I didn't know what that thing was. I always knew like, I think entrepreneurs always have that sense of impending something that you're like, I'm meant to do more, but I just don't know what it is. And but I was always a creative kind of person, always writing, and was really great at technology and social media. And so when I was working in the dental office, I started doing their social media and I built their website just for fun, just because I knew how. And I was bored, so in between patients, I'd just like be on their Twitter and stuff like that. And their IT guy was like, "Hey, you're really good at this. Can I refer you to a client of mine?" And from there, it was like referral, referral, referral. And I was so big between patients, I'd be running to the bathroom and like doing social media in between cleaning teeth. And I got to the point where I was like, I have to choose. Like, do I go all in on this business? Do I stay in the secure 9 to 5? And eventually I made that leap, which is for any entrepreneur in that situation, it's scary, but like the payoff is just, you wonder why you didn't do it sooner. And so we made that leap. And then so we started as just doing social media for businesses. And then I had a local client who was a plumbing company. And it's funny, when I got this client, I thought, oh, plumbing, like that's going to be boring. How do I make content for plumbers? But then we started making some really entertaining content. Like we turned this one guy, one of their staff members, into Plumber Dundee. And so we'd put on this Australian accent, and he's like, I'm literally in the plumbing jungle right now. And he'd be like showing his, like the behind the scenes of what he's doing and being funny, but then also being educational, and like there's a call to action in it. And then we made another character that he put on his sunglasses and become Mr. Cool. And he'd talk about he's too cool for school. And that's because he has an air conditioning installed by Capital Plumbing and Heating. And so it was fun that we would make these videos, and I started to see the amazing results we were getting from it. So I started asking my clients more and more if I could do videos for them, and that's how we started shifting away from social media and doing exclusively videos. And at that time I was also starting to make videos for my own YouTube channel, just answering frequently asked questions. I made a video because people were always asking like, how do I put text on a picture, or how do I do this? And so I was like, oh, that's easy, it's a software called Canva. And so I made a video called How to Use Canva. And months later, like I keep getting these things like in my inbox saying like, someone commented on this. So I'd see it was getting a lot of attention, but I logged into my YouTube one day and it was like 25,000 views. And I was like, how did that happen? How? And so I started studying to see, how do I reproduce this? Can I recreate this again and for my clients? And now that video has over 100,000 views. And actually, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like LinkedIn, LinkedIn is flying me out to California to do a training for their platform, to teach Canva, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that video has really helped me to propel my YouTube channel, and helped me to start what I'm doing now with my own content and all of my clients.
That is amazing. That's exclusive, guys. When do you find out there?
Exclusive.
Well, you don't share, don't share. If you guys are in the replay, comment hashtag replay. We got some questions here. Chat's blowing up. They love you, Marley.
Yeah.
Matthew from Toronto, what's up?
I love Toronto.
What's up, Justin? Hey, Con. So Dale says Marley was one of my first Instagram followers for my business page. Love her stuff.
Aww.
Boom. What's up, Felicia? What's up, William?
Felicia.
This is awesome because, man, I had so many questions off of what you just said. We can go so many routes, but it's kind of, I think the concept's cool. How I thought you would your story was going to be that you kind of you did it on the side, you're doing YouTube on the side, and then you getting clients on the side, but it was like you were forced into it almost like through dentistry, which is is that kind of
idea. I didn't plan this, and I feel like the best things in my life have just happened from not planning it. I feel like the more I try to say this is what I'm going to do and this is the way it's going to be, it doesn't work out that way, and there ends up being something even bigger and better. So that can be a lesson to anyone who's trying to stick a square peg in a round hole. It's you don't have to feel like this is the way it has to happen, because there might be something better. And I couldn't have even planned out everything that's happened and how it's happened. When people ask how I started my business, I'm like, well, it was kind of a fluke, but it's awesome.
Yeah, you're just and I love it. I see you share about this in your content too. You just kind of roll with the punches and you kind of just say yes to everything. I feel like that's your vibe, and you just figure it out. You're just a problem solver.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get into because you were mentioning Canva before. I kind of want to get into what are your favorite, just to skip a little bit, just to give people some value. What are your favorite tools that you're using right now for social media, for videos? What are your go-tos? You couldn't be able to do your amazing work without them.
Yeah. Well, we use Adobe Premiere all the time for all of our videos, and we have tons of videos going out every single week. I want to count how many videos go out for ourselves and our clients every month. 100, more than 100, every single month. So Adobe Premiere is what we use, so we can we brand our videos very specifically. You see those videos on social media, that's the bars on the top and the bottom, they're black or white and they have the captions in them. We make them very specifically branded. For example, we have an Amazon client that his bars come into place. The beginning of it starts with so Amazon, the retail, online retail, it starts with a cardboard box that opens up, and then the bars come, and on the bottom a little UPS truck drives by with the words. So it's very specific, so that people look at that and that's that company because of the way that their branding looks. So Adobe Premiere is a huge one for us, and After Effects. Asana, I know it's not social media, but that's what keeps me and my team organized. I use that even just for personal stuff. I'll put a task in there, go to the bank today or whatever. I need that to keep me organized. Voxer for communication. When it comes to more social media and video, InShot is good. So like I mentioned, those bars on the top and the bottom, people are wondering how you make those. So you can have the video in the middle and the captions on top, or on the top and the bottom. I would use an app called InShot. That's INSHOT. So I love that one too.
Yeah, Kevin was talking about that one too. Kevin Anson.
Yeah, he's boss.
Yeah, I love him. Video Boss. Hashtag Video Boss. He's rebranding. So
is he? That's so cool.
Yeah, his new group is called Hashtag Video Boss, and his new course. It's recent. Mark Stern says, "What's up?" from Clickpreneur.
Mark. Yeah, I'm in his summit coming up. It's an awesome one. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, he has a lot of females in that summit, which is amazing, because I feel like there needs to be more female front facing. William Smith says, hashtag replay. Dude, this is live. Love Premiere, but so complicated.
It is complicated. That's not the one I recommend to start with. If you're starting, start with iMovie or Filmora.
Filmora, okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably more for PC.
No, Filmora I've used on my Mac. Filmora is you have to pay for it. So iMovie is free, but Filmora is about.
But it's only for Mac, correct?
No, I think you can use it on PC as well.
Oh, really?
Sorry. iMovie is for just for Mac, but
Okay.
Filmora you can use on both. And Filmora, I think it's like $50 a year. I could be wrong on that because I use Premiere now, but from everyone I've talked to, it's a low cost and it has a lot of great qualities and it's a step up from iMovie.
So what is your favorite video platform right now besides YouTube? Because I feel like YouTube is like just number one, correct?
Yeah, YouTube. And like the thing is, if I can take a moment to talk about that, because people don't understand the absolute power you have with YouTube. And I'll give you an example of one of our mutual clients. But let me go back a bit. So my Canva
I saw it
video,
on your Instagram story, the ranking that he got
I
recently.
freaked out. Okay, I gotta tell you, let me like I'm gonna hype this up.
Yeah.
So you gotta wait for
Hype
me
it
to
up.
tell
Hype it
you.
up.
Because it's incredible, and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell you how we do it. But so my Canva video that I mentioned, how did I get hundreds of thousands of views on it? Okay, not hundreds of thousands yet, but thousands of views. That I was like, how did this video? Like, I haven't touched it. It's got like now it has 100,000 or more views. I haven't seen it for a while. I haven't checked on it. But that video, because of the way that it's ranking, because remember, YouTube is owned by Google. It's a search engine as well as a social media platform. When you post on Facebook, what happens to your post? Like the lifespan of that post kind of goes downhill over a while.
It's a feed.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like it gets filtered out and it doesn't last very long because of the algorithms and like people just it's so saturated with content. So on YouTube, what happens when you post something? It actually goes up because it's a search engine, because you can build your authority and you can rank in search engines. So if you go to Google right now and type in how to use Canva, my video out of millions of results, millions, is on the first page. And because of that, because I also have an engaging thumbnail that people want to click on and a good description, that video gets over 1,500 organic views per week. I posted that video October of 2016, and it still sits there and gets views and likes and comments and opt-ins all day, every day, because I also have a lead magnet in that video that in every single video, I say, click the link below to get my, whatever it is, the freebie. And people will go get that. Like when I'm sleeping, whether I'm working that day or not, they're signing up for my email list all the time. And then what happens when they go to that opt-in page, my Facebook pixel grabs them. Then they sign up for my email list so then I can nurture them as well as remarket to them on Facebook. So that's a huge thing that you can get with YouTube content, because remember, it's going to last so much longer and people can keep finding you organically all the time. And with that search engine optimization, you can also ethically steal traffic from your competitors. Like because I have like that video is Canva. So when people are searching for Canva, my video is going to show up. They're going to find me. So people who are looking at Canva, the software, they then find my content. Then maybe they start binge watching mine. And this is what I was going to tell you about what just happened with our mutual client, Steven Larson. He is, for people that don't know him, he used to work at ClickFunnels. He was Russell Brunson's right hand, like one of the lead funnel builders. I think he was the lead funnel builder for ClickFunnels at the time that he was there. And so we're working on his channel. And when I was just with him a couple days ago, I showed him his rankings, and he posted a video like not even a week ago that's an interview with Russell Brunson. And because of the authority on the channel that we've built and because of the rankings, we now, if you type in Russell Brunson, that video comes up. Like, how crazy is that? How many times a day do you think people are searching for Russell Brunson on YouTube? And now Steven Larson.
Google too. I mean,
like huge. And even just since we started working with him, which has only been, I think we started working with him in June. So from June to now it's September, his YouTube traffic, just to give you a bird's eye view of that, when we started, he was getting like 2,400 views a week. Now he's getting 16,000 views a week.
Wow. That's exponential. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. In 3 months. What's up, Josh, by the way? We got
Josh
a fellow.
Morty!
Yes, fellow badass in the house. Was that intentional when you created that Canva video? Did you know that was going to happen?
I had no idea. Like that was one of the first videos I made. And it was just to answer the question, because I was getting the question so often that instead of, yeah, just use Canva, and someone saying, well, can you show me how? Every individual time I would want to show someone how to do it. Gosh, that takes so much of my time. So I was like, I'll just make a video. And then that way, if someone asks, I'll just send them the link. And because it's a common question, that's how people were finding it so much. So if you're ever wondering, what can I make YouTube videos about? Ask yourself, what are the common questions that are asked? What are those frequently asked questions? or what are questions that I had when I was starting my business that I could answer for like my past self, because you know someone's going to be there right now wanting to know the solution to the answer that you have.
Gotcha. What, and I love that concept that like YouTube is like the only video platform where you're building an asset, like you're planting a tree almost,
Totally.
and that can like grow and flourish. While other platforms, it's like the lifespan of like an Instagram post is like, or an Instagram story is literally
Yeah.
24 hours. I
That's such a
mean,
great way to put it.
yeah. How do you feel? Well, what would you tell people? Like, what do you think people don't know is the most important factor as far as like the lifespan or like, you know, ranking up, building authority like you did with Steven on YouTube?
The big thing is being consistent with it. Like, you don't just post one YouTube video and be like, how come I'm not famous yet? Like that
Yeah.
YouTube video that I posted about Canva, yeah, I posted that and it got great results. But also, I was still posting pretty regularly on there. I was posting other things about other frequently asked questions I got. I was talking about the YouTube or I was talking about the Facebook algorithm and that you shouldn't be buying followers. Actually, if you go back to the beginning of my channel, it's pretty entertaining. Like, I would try to be funny in my videos. Like, I have this one video where I'm sitting across from myself at a table and I'm like, the one of me is wearing a mustache, and it's like it's talking about like going on it. The concept was going on a date with yourself. Like, if you want to go on the second date, you have to ask for it. So it was teaching about having a call to action. If you want to continue the relationship with your audience, you have to ask for it. So I just made this joke and it was like me on a date with myself, and one of me had a mustache and the other one was like in love with me. So if you scroll back far enough, you can see like the quality, how much it's changed. But it's pretty entertaining. But yeah, so back to your question, you have to be consistent. And you have to post regularly enough and be using that search engine optimization, that you're using keywords in your title. You're writing a description that has keywords. You're putting in the tags keywords that other people might be searching for to find that video within 6 degrees of separation. Obviously, like if I have the Canva video, I can also put in there Photoshop, like things that people are looking for, but is close enough to it that if they're looking for Photoshop and my Canva video can also answer that question, that is valid. But you can't do like, I mean, Justin Bieber has a lot of search volume, but you can't say Justin Bieber for a Canva video just to try to steal that traffic. That doesn't work, and Google will penalize you for that.
How do you get those keywords mainly? Is it through like Google search trends or?
Yeah, so I use Google Keyword Planner, which is just a free tool with the Google AdWords. And a lot of people will say it's not free, Marley, but it is. The thing is, you have to create your account, and you put in they ask you to put in your credit card and create an ad to do that. But just like create the ad, go through the whole process, then turn off it. Turn off the ad immediately.
That's been happening forever. I don't know why they still have that. It sucks.
Yeah. The other thing I'll do is I'll just actually use YouTube right in the platform. And I'll use a little extension called TubeBuddy, TUBE Buddy. And you can see from there like the search volume and what people are searching for. And even if I type in Canva, it'll show me other popular terms that people are searching for.
Have you heard of the Chrome app vidIQ? Do you use that?
Yeah, vidIQ and TubeBuddy are like competitors. So
but they achieve the same thing?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. What's up, Trevor? Says hi, Marley and Daxy. Do you guys have any questions for Marley while she's giving us her time? Boom, ask them below. I want to get into, because you do more than YouTube. You just do video in general, which is like epic. Do you ever like do like specific like course content for your clients, like helping them film for courses and such?
Yeah, I mean, we get requests for video stuff all the time because people see us as we make videos. I feel like one of my superpowers is to just understand I say intuitively, and like Alex Sharpin will make fun of me for that, but it's like an intuition thing for me that I just get the feel of the client and make a video that I know like has their energy in it. So that's one of our strengths, that like I've even made videos for people without them knowing it and been like, hey, here's a gift for you. And they're like, how is this awesome? So, but the big thing that we do is that we actually have a service where we create all of your content. We come out to you and batch film 6 months of content in 3 days. And even there's a client we just went to see in Atlanta, and we filmed 10 months of content in 3 days. And so what that includes is like before we even go to the client, we create the entire video strategy, all of the video titles, all of the scripts, like the intros and the outros are scripted with NLP, thought reversal, sleight of mouth, so that you can really hook and engage your audience. And it's also tied in with those call to actions so that we know that every single video you can get opt-ins to your list and people are going to sign up for your lead magnet. And then maybe there's tripwires, so you're making money off of them and growing your sales. Then we actually go to the client and we batch film all of their content for the next 6 months over 3 days. And then after that 3 days, we produce, edit, distribute, post all of that content so that it's so hands-off for the client. The biggest thing they're doing is spending 3 phone calls with me before we go out to film them, and then the 3 days of filming with them.
That is epic. I love that. Kind of like Peng Joon method almost.
Yes.
What's up, Ernest? Ecom monster right there. I kind of want to get into you touched on it briefly. Like you were saying NLP and thought reversal, like the psychology that goes behind like filming the videos and like creating videos that convert and are engaging. Like what is that you just dropped right there?
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing that I throw rocks at, and it's funny, like I'll throw rocks at who I used to be, because I learned that, I mean, you learn by example, you learn by trying. And there were things that I would do that weren't getting me results. So obviously you work and you tweak until you get the results you need. And so I used to be the kind of person that would create content for the sake of creating content. Like how many times do you see people that are just like, hey, how's your day going? Comment below. And maybe you have an engaged audience that will respond to those things. Or things like, hey, it's National Coffee Day. Here's me with my coffee. Well, if you have an engaged audience, great. They'll like cheers you back. But if not, like it's just great. It's another like coffee picture. So what can you post that's actually going to engage your audience? But more than that, it's going to like hit them in their identity, because when people see content online, or they see an influencer that they relate to and resonate with and want to follow, it's because they've hooked onto something that's in them. So it's storytelling, it's turning your trauma into power and that vulnerability, but also speaking to like the struggles or the issues or just solving the problems that they might have. So an example of that is some of the videos that I actually filmed 9 of my upcoming YouTube videos last night. And one of the things that we want to do in those videos is that I'm not trying to tell you the answers. I want you to come to those conclusions on your own. Like, you know, when you learn something and someone tells you forever, don't put your hand on the stove, don't put your hand on the stove, it's hot, but you don't learn it until you actually put your hand on the stove and you're like, dang, that's hot. So in a way, we script these videos so that you're not like, so you think that you came up with it on your own. So for example, everyone's all about this hustle mentality, and you got to like grind and hustle until like your eyes are bleeding. And people are believing that that they got to work hard. So one of the questions that I've asked in a video is, if you believe that you have to hustle and grind to be successful, tell me, does everybody who hustles and grinds and works 12 hours a day become successful? Like, I'm not telling you no, but I'm asking you the question that makes you think and allows you to come up with your own answer.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that too. That's funny because one of the quotes you say, how working hard doesn't guarantee success. So like, what is it that guarantees success, like in your mind for you? Is it like the strategy? Is it like the people? Is it the systems? Like, is it a combination? And she's a ghost. Sorry, guys. She's on her phone, so she should be back in a second. But Jesse, what's up, Trevor? Jesse, I'll ask her that question right now after this question, Jesse. Gessie or Jesse? Am I saying it right? Or I'm saying it wrong? What's up? You're back from the dead.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, my husband started calling me. I'm like, stop calling me, and now he just tried again.
Where did I cut off there?
You were saying hustle doesn't always guarantee success. I think that's what you were saying.
Yeah,
and then there was for that.
Yeah. And for you, what has guaranteed success? Like, what is that? Is it the people, the systems, the mindset? Is it your strategy, like combination?
That's such a good question. because it's like a combination of those things, because definitely the people on my team mean so much to me. And it's funny, I just posted on my Instagram stories that my right hand is sitting right next to me today, and I'm meeting her for the first time because we work virtually. I talk to her all day every day, but she's right here. So the people are important. The processes, if you don't have processes, how are you gonna achieve anything? Like that's what the hustle might be. That's why, like, hustle might mean being overly, like, overwhelmed and depleted, because you don't have to work hard, you can work smart. So that's a big part of it. And the most important thing to me is doing things that make an impact, make a difference. That I am so not about creating content for the sake of content. That's not going to change lives. That's not going to help my audience. To like, the first time that I ever posted something, that it was actually a video about being a perfectionist, and I had gone through like creating all these videos about social media advice, and then I made this video about like my personal struggles with being a perfectionist. And that day my email inbox started blowing up, and like, I don't get a ton of responses before that from people saying like, I love this video, those were great tips about how to get more followers on Instagram. Like, those are very tactical videos. This video about perfectionism, I got emails in my inbox saying, that made me cry, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Like that, my work here is done. Like,
Yeah, I was talking about that yesterday too with the Tara, like the power of vulnerability.
yeah.
And that's kind of the concept you're going with there, which super important. Wayne's here, by the way. If you
Yeah, thank you. Hi, honey. Please don't call me until later.
Thanks. We had some technical difficulties, so we had to do this on a phone. Yeah. We have a question here from Jesse. I said that right. What did you use to film your content when you first started, and what would you recommend?
Oh, I love that question, because I tell this story often and it's kind of funny. When we first started, it was me and my husband, and we were in our basement suite of our house, and which is like not great lighting. And so one of the things I'll say is, if you are so stressed about like, I need these fancy expensive lights, no, you don't. You just need a window or a lamp. Like, you don't need anything fancy. So we didn't even have a good camera at this time, so we used my iPhone, because the iPhone has a good camera. And we would get a chair and like a stack of books on that chair and prop up the phone, and I would still have to squat to like be in the right view. And we're in the basement because that was just like the quiet place that we could film. And my husband would hold up a lamp with no lampshade for lighting. And that's what we did. And then we used iMovie to edit it for free. So if you go back, like I said, to the beginning of my YouTube channel, you'll see those videos and how we did it. It was an iPhone and a lamp.
That's awesome. Yeah, you got to be like, just do it. You know, like me, like a lot of videos, like I didn't have lighting. I just got my alarm clock and I put the brightness all the way up, and that was like a light for me. You know, Home Depot sells really good lights too, by the way.
Totally. Yeah, you don't need so expensive. Even like the camera, this one, I always have it on me. This was my first camera. It's a Sony 5000. I use it for vlogging now, because I really like that it has this screen. So like when I'm vlogging, I can see myself in it and make sure that I'm actually in the view. And this one was, I want to say like $400 or $500.
Okay. Jesse loves that, she says. Ashley asked, I mean, you don't have to share numbers if you don't want to, but how do you package your video marketing strategy, and how much do you usually charge?
So how do we package it? Like, we have two options. So what I mentioned earlier, that we create the video strategy, the scripting, the whole video branding, that it, like, you have the options for how they're going to look, and like be very specific to your branding. Then we actually fly out to you and we batch film 6 months of content. Then we edit it, repurpose it, distribute it, post it. Oh, and then the other thing I didn't mention is we run Facebook video view ads to it, because you can get video view ads for pennies, like a penny per view. So imagine building your Facebook or your remarketing audience for pennies, like spending $1 and getting 100 new eyeballs on your content, even cold traffic. So that is the job of like 5 or 6 people. So it's a high ticket price. We do have packages for different levels, that it could be less videos or also more videos. So we do have things that can start at like 2,500, but our main packages are 5,000, 10,000 and up.
Do you use or like offer to your clients as well, like influencer collaborations? Or is that usually something they do
No,
on their own?
no,
Okay.
I mean, that's something that we can put in the strategy, especially with a lot of the clients that we work with are kind of in this community, which like you're a part of. We know all the same kind of people. So sometimes we have talked about like, hey, like let's just do, I mean, we get a lot of B-roll with these people, which is great to show them in the videos. But that's something we haven't done yet, but would be pretty cool.
Yeah. How would you recommend to collaborate with like YouTube influencers? Like if you're trying to like grow your audience or like, just get in their world.
That's a good question. I think the like, and I'm asked to do collaborations, and I haven't yet because I'm not 100% sure if that's the direction I want to go. So it's a choice, especially when you're tying your name to someone else's. You want to make sure that it is going to be beneficial for you, or it is someone that their message is still in alignment with yours. So that's another reason why like I'm so protective over my message. That's the reason why I haven't yet. But it has to be mutually beneficial. If it's someone that has a good audience size, has the audience demographic that you want those people, then it's just a matter of like reaching out and proposing, hey, here's an idea I have. Do you want to do this kind of video with me? Whether it's an educational video where you both come together and speak on the topics from your different points of view, or maybe it's like a vlog where you hang out together for the day and talk about like your secrets to success.
Yeah. I love your mindset and like some of the people you like mention and talk about, like who are like you've talked about Wayne Dyer, who I didn't know about till you mentioned him in one of your stories. Yeah, like I forget the quote. Like, you could if you squeeze an orange juice will come out. Like that's the same thing with us. Like
What
whatever comes
happens
out is
when we squeeze you?
exactly like that's what's inside you.
Yeah.
That's such a cool concept. How is that? And you talk even like this throughout this Facebook Live, you're talking about like alignment and like doing things with your for your clients that are above and beyond. Like, what does that entail for you? Like, how important is that for you for like what you do?
That's the whole like that's our methodology. If someone comes to us, and we have had people come to us that are like, hey, I have money, like make me famous on YouTube. Well, no, like what's your message, what's your movement? And part of what we do is we pull the message out of you. Like as I was saying, in those 3 phone calls that we have before we go to film them, we do a series of interviews, and that's how we do our scripting, is to actually get their words. And it's awesome that these interviews actually get quite emotional. Like I have grown men who typically like in public show no emotion. I've had tears on these calls, which is amazing. And that's what it's all about. It's about pulling that deep, impactful meaning out of you so that it shows through in these videos, because anyone can set up a camera and speak about what's on their mind and just talk about, hey, this is how you do this, and tactically step 1, step 2, step 3. But when I also inject my deep message of like what's the change I want to make in the world, whether that's for me or for my client, that's what it's all about. Like it's not, and this is part of my story that's going to be coming out, like we're the videos that we filmed yesterday and some of the behind the scenes lead magnets and ebooks we're creating, is my struggle with growing up. And I was bullied and just had like struggles with friendships, and it was so hard for me to define what my self-worth was, because I thought that I needed to find it externally. I thought that if I looked important and if I looked like I was special, people would like me. So it's exhausting when you're tying your self-worth to what someone else thinks about you. And I burned out so many times in my life, in elementary school, in college, in relationships, in my careers. I worked for a lot of organizations that didn't treat me well, but it made me look good. And I think a lot of people do things like that in their lives where they're not in alignment with what makes them feel good, with what makes them feel good, because they think that they're going to get something else out of it externally. And that all changed for me when I realized, what if I could generate this from within and help other people just to feel good because of it? And when you stand for something, people are going to stand against you. Like that's what, like there's all these controversies for, healthcare, or I don't want to go into it because I don't want to, like I don't have opinions that I want to talk about there. But when people stand for something, or like politics, there's people on one side or another, and sometimes and people will stand with you so passionately, but then it also means that people are going to disagree with you. So everything that we do is we call it the VIP video code, that it's about making a very impactful purpose, that everything you do matches the methodology, that it's more than just about creating content for the sake of content. It's about creating an impact and changing lives.
That is Thanks for opening up so much because I feel like someone is gonna bound to get insane value from that.
Yeah,
Ashley says, "Love you, Marley. Awesome energy."
thank you.
Because like you are, even though you are like awesome in what you do in the video world, like uh, I'm glad that people can kind of see like where you're coming at and like the impact you're doing. Like you practice what you preach to people too, which is awesome to see.
Thank you.
Um, I saw recently. Let me see if we have any questions first. Let's ask this first from Ashley. Is it hard to learn keywords and SEO for YouTube?
No. Google Keyword Planner and using TubeBuddy, like it gives you the answers. It's just about using the right tools. And then also
Yeah.
just like a little bit of common sense just to look through and be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that's something people are searching for and use those tags, use those keywords.
Yeah. So are you a part of Alex Sharfin's like coaching program?
Yes, and I'm actually
He,
in Austin right now. I just spent 2 days with him
I
and
saw that. Yeah.
I'm going to be filming with him on Wednesday.
Oh, really? What are you guys
Yeah.
doing?
We're filming some of his YouTube content.
Awesome. He's been like stepping it up too, like his vlog styles. Like,
I know.
um, do you think I feel like everyone should do that? Like everyone who's like an
Absolutely.
influencer should do that vlog because it's not just like for now, it's like for future generations, you know, like it's
Well,
awesome. Like,
yeah, like you get it. You said it earlier. It's like planting a seed and it's an asset that people are still going to find for years to come. And even when I started working with Alex, he had no idea. I did an audit of his YouTube channel and I said, "Do you realize you have a video that you posted in 2014 that when you type in team communication into YouTube, your video comes up first out of millions of views?" And that was posted in 2014. Like, what does that say about creating content once and letting it do the work for you?
I love that.
Yeah.
I so that kind of once gets me to this question. I saw you, I think it was on a tweet. You said the easiest way to create demand is to talk about the consequences of not having something.
Mm.
How do you incorporate like is that a big part of like how you convince people to work with you or like in your
Oh my.
marketing messaging?
Yeah, I mean, like people come to me all the time and they're like, "Oh, I know I want to get on camera. Like I see everyone doing like video and YouTube and it's really great, but like I'm scared of the camera," which I have several objections. There's several objection killers to, which we can go into. But the big thing that I'll ask is like, okay, so if you see that video is the way of the future, that people are finding your content, people are finding video content naturally, that the algorithms are valuing it highest, that people are able to lower their ad costs and get more sales through video, if all of your competitors are also doing it, but if you're not, where do you think your business will be in a year, 2 years, 3 years? You tell me.
I love that. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take much convincing. Like I don't have to be like, well, the algorithm says this, and you got to do this. Like that's the thing that I
they're
want. I just
usually
want to
smart
ask.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got to ask the question and be like, you tell me. Like, and I don't need to. I'm not in a position where I have to like fight to convince you. If you don't believe it, like you're not my ideal client. That's fine.
Yeah. And that's super important. Like how many are all your clients like your dream clients or most of them, I'm sure?
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with. I'm obsessed with my clients. Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about like because I love Alex Sharfin. I think he's like one of the most intriguing guys out there. Like everything he says, like
I know.
it's just like I feel like I need to hear that what he's
Yeah.
saying. Um, how like what have you learned the most from like him coaching you, helping you like develop your team and like your cadence and everything? Like what have you learned the most that
Yeah.
you could share with everyone here that we can implement?
Well, definitely like just understanding how to manage my team to go from transactional management where you're like, do this, did that get done? Okay, here's another thing to do. Did that get done? Here's another thing to do. Like I don't want to operate like that. To then being in transformational leadership where you know your objectives, you know where everyone knows where they're going, you're able to predict the future. That's what everyone needs in their business if they want to be successful. Like if you are a successful entrepreneur, you know that you need a system like that. It's just so vital. I was actually at his house yesterday. We had a little uh, like wrap up to the end of the event, and I was just chatting with him about what's going on in my business and in my life. And what I love so much about what Alex and his wife do is that it's not just about the business. It's so holistic. It's about our lives as who we are. Like if you want to grow your business, it's got to start with you. Like you can't have $1 million business unless you are $1 million. Like if you have the what's the word? If you have the mindset of $1 million earner, like it has to start with you. If you want your business to grow, you have to grow. So that's a big thing that like Alex doesn't just teach the here's what to do in business. He also talks with like hydrating, like drink enough water every day, go on morning walks, have connection time with your family. Don't just plan your business, plan your life. Like the cadence that you're mentioning, and if people don't know what that is, it's how you plan your objectives for that. You do your yearly objectives, your 90-day targets, your 30-day goals, your weekly commitments, and your day-to-day commitments. And that's how your team, how everyone knows what you're doing. But on the other hand, you have to do that in your personal life too, because if you just run your business and expect your family time to just like fall around it, it's like the exact same thing as saying like, I'll go to the gym later when I have time. If you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen. Like you have to prioritize that, especially when it's something as important as your family. Because even I was talking to Katie Sharfin, and she was saying most entrepreneurs fall into the trap of either they don't let their business grow to the scale that it should because they're afraid of sacrificing their family, or they let their business grow to the scale it should and they sacrifice their family. But it doesn't have to be that way. And we as entrepreneurs are people who we have a different mindset. We grow and think differently. And whether our spouses or our children or our parents are on that same path, we still have to communicate with them and spend the time with them that they need, and not think like, oh, they just don't get me, or I don't get them. Like we have to make that effort. That's the most important thing. And if your business is about making an impact, how can you do that if you don't care about taking care of your family in the process?
Man, gold. I'm gonna re-listen to this, and man, this is my favorite interview yet. Awesome.
Me too. I'm loving this.
Great. I kind of want to. Well, what are you doing now, actually, and like, what does your like next year look like, and what are your big goals like? Because I know you're filming, you said, and like, what are you trying to like accomplish? I'm curious. I feel like that can spread some insight on people too.
Well, I mentioned that I don't know if she's gonna like kill me for this, but there's Rachel.
What's up?
Rachel is my right hand in my business, which is so confusing for anyone that like knows me kind of personally. I have so many Rachels in my life. My best friend's name is Rachel. My right hand here, his name is Rachel. I have a Rachel, like a client, one of my clients' contacts' name is Rachel, and we just hired someone named Rochelle. It's so confusing. So actually today, Rachel drove up from San Antonio because I'm in Austin, and so we're mapping out the next year of everything. So we filmed 9 YouTube videos, like I mentioned last night, that are so awesome. We were actually, if you watched my Instagram stories yesterday, we were in the middle of filming, and my husband is the amazing.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
he's my amazing videographer, and so we're filming, and he cuts me off mid-sentence. He's like, "Stop," and I'm like, what? Like, don't cut me off while I'm on a roll. Like, what's going on? And he's like, these scripts are too good. We can't film like this. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what? He's like, I need more equipment. I need more things. So we like quickly Googled and found a camera rental store, and we rushed out to get some more equipment, and we filmed 9 YouTube videos last night. We definitely want to be putting out more content. So I want to, like, I'm currently putting out 1 YouTube video a week. I want to put out 3. And we have some really awesome content coming out. So I mentioned the VIP video code. That's our methodology, and we're actually turning that into a series of free ebooks, a series of some little paid ebooks and courses, and as well as like a course where you can learn it all and implement it all, or the done for you. And definitely getting that message out there, because I lived that, where it was like, what do I post on social media today? And it never made an impact. It didn't move me forward. It didn't even feel fulfilling. It was just like, hey, it's Monday. What are your goals for the week? Like, what's going on this week? And it, like, you try to be engaging and have conversation, but like people just scrolling through the newsfeed are like, well, who are you? I want to make content that is making an impact. And I know that if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, then you do too. So that's the movement that I want to help people create, is to not just post content for the sake of content, and to live out their very impactful purpose.
Perfect and awesome. You're giving me great content right now. So this is perfect. If you guys have any questions, ask them below. Give me #TeamLive so this can rank up. More people could see this. Because we're going to wrap up here soon. I don't want to take up too much of your day. I know you're a busy person. You got your right hand person there. So you guys got stuff to get done. Really quick, what are you obsessed with right now as far as like what's working well as you see? It's like it has a good like future, whether it's like Pinterest or IGTV, or like, what do you feel like?
IGTV, I haven't figured it out yet. I'm posting on it like every single week when we put out a YouTube video.
It's showing up on Instagram now too. Like I see it at the top when I use Instagram. which is I think is going to work well for them.
Yeah, like
Good.
I see it too. But I haven't seen the push with it yet. So I'm still creating content for it, but I'm still kind of studying it. Um, I love Instagram. I have a lot of fun with it. I think Pinterest is amazing for driving traffic to where you want it to go. So every time we post a YouTube video, we're also posting on Pinterest to drive traffic to that video and drive traffic to the lead
Do you use like
magnets.
a thumbnail or is like a specific artwork for Pinterest or?
Yeah, the artwork for Pinterest is a different size. It's kind of like longer. So I'll just take the same thumbnail that we created for YouTube, but just change the size of it.
And for I don't use Pinterest. Is it like keyword based? Like you put in keywords, or is it just like how does it recognize what you have?
Yeah, you can. Like it does because even people on Pinterest, I know I use Pinterest to look up recipes and look up decor ideas. So yeah, when you're putting in your description, you definitely want to be typing about what it's about so that it's going to be categorized into those areas. And Pinterest though is it's a pretty female dominated demographic. So it works for me, but depending on what the industry is, you'll just have to decide for yourself if it's going to fit the demographic you're looking to reach.
Yeah, I read it's like 85% female or something like that.
Yeah.
It's high. Um, I tried using it, but the content was mainly female content.
Totally.
What we got a question here. Should you create from Reno separate channels for different topics or just separate playlists? Example, personal reviews or how-tos, business marketing, etc.
Good question. Those are so close. Like if they're within 6 degrees of separation, I would keep it together, especially because you're building authority on that channel and YouTube sees that you already have people looking for this content. If it's just like a degree or two away, especially if it's personal reviews about business, how to's about business and marketing, keep it together, but put it into different playlists because then people can binge watch those playlists. However, if they're different topics, like for example, if I suddenly started making videos about like how to's for mechanics, that's so different, it won't work. Or an example is like Steven Larson, for example. We talked about him and Alex Sharfin. They have different. So, like Steven Larson, for example, he has 2 podcasts. So we've actually just decided to make 2 different channels for the 2 different podcasts because one is for kind of the ClickFunnels funnel community, and one is more for like multi-level marketing. So those audiences, like even though there is some crossover, we wanted to separate them so that people in the MLM community don't get confused by the funnels, and people in the funnels community don't misinterpret what Steven is saying about MLM, because Steven isn't someone that's like loves MLM. He's like seeing what they're doing wrong and trying to educate them on how to do it the right way. Sharfin, for example, he has his podcast channel and then he also wants to have his videos. So we separated the podcast versus his videos because the podcasts are just audio and people want to just come to one place to just binge the listening to the podcast, and some people want to just watch his videos. So we separated those into different channels.
Awesome. Kind of wrapping up here. Where can people follow you? I know Instagram's a great spot just for your stories and stuff, but like where else? Like also if people want to learn more from you, like a course, YouTube channel, what else you got out there?
Yeah, my Instagram is, I'm really active on Instagram stories and I like to have fun on them. So I think I make people laugh. I hope I make people laugh.
Yeah.
So that's Instagram.com/Marley_Baird. My YouTube channel, we have new content coming out every week. So that's YouTube.com/Marley Baird Media. And if you guys want to learn kind of what I've been talking about with how to batch your content, how to come up with and never run out of ideas for content, how to do that YouTube SEO so that you can position your content so that people are finding it organically. I have a masterclass and it's 45 minutes. It's not the kind of masterclass that people go into and like half an hour of it is hearing a sob story and then it's like a little bit of value and then a pitch. It is 45 minutes of content. Sorry, I should say 35 minutes of content and 10 minutes where I do say, if there is something like, if you need more than this, I do have a way you can go in, but take take that time. You can walk away with and implement everything immediately. And you can get that at 60daysofcontent.com. That's 60daysofcontent.com, because the masterclass is how to create 60 days of social media and video content in 8 hours. I used to spend every Sunday filming a video and I would get one video out of it. Like for me to waste an entire day and get one video, there's such a more efficient way. And now I'll spend one day and get 2 months of content. And I don't want anyone to be wasting their time, or you need to be efficient. And you have if you're listening to this, you have a powerful and impactful message that I want to help you get out there. And this masterclass can help you to do that.
Perfect. Yeah. That's so, and that feeds into what you're saying. Like consistency is so important. And like, this is how you tackle it. Trevor says, great live. Love your enthusiasm. Oh, Ashley put the link for 60
Oh,
days
thank
of
you,
content.
Ashley.
Sweet. Yeah, just some of my favorite questions I like to ask at the end. One is, who's the person that changed your life the most? It could be an author or like a real life person, mentor, or anything.
Can I say my husband?
There you go. Yeah.
My husband. But just because he, like, when we first met each other, we actually have had this conversation. I think this is a really great question for any couple to ask, because a lot of people will ask, what's my purpose in life? What am I here to do? But have you ever asked your relationship, what is our purpose as a couple? And something we just had like deep conversations about recently is what we're here to do with each other, and that's to grow, help each other grow. And one of the big things that he supported me with was letting go of trying to find that self-worth externally. And I don't know if I would have gotten over that without him. And if I didn't, would I be in this mindset of wanting to help people to understand that too and create their powerful message? I don't know. On top of that, I would also say Alex Sharfin. I already raved about all of the reasons why he's amazing and all the things he's helped us with. So I guess those are
Awesome. Yes. Jacob says, definitely need to check this out. Yep. This will also be in my podcast next month, Jacob, around mid-October for the launch. What does a legacy mean to you? Like, how do you define a legacy? What do you mean a legacy?
Yeah. Having a movement that lasts longer than I do, that if I have inspired one person watching this or listening to this to stop creating content for the sake of content and realize what their very impactful purpose is and what their message is, how they want to spread that movement, that's my legacy. That's what I want people to do, because I used to be in it, and where I would just post content for the sake of content, and it doesn't get you anywhere and it doesn't change lives.
Love it. Love it. That's a great note to end off of. Guys, show Marley some love for doing this live. Go follow her on Instagram, on her YouTube, 60daysofcontent.com for her awesome work that she's doing. And any last words, Marley?
This was one of my favorite interviews. Despite the technical difficulties, and thank you for being patient with me on that. And this was awesome. I would love to return and chat with you anytime.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that for like probably next quarter, catch up, help people, give some value. And yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay on. I'm just going to end the broadcast.